Welcome to the channel where pocket change becomes life-changing. Today, we're diving into the shocking truth behind the USA Kennedy half dollar. One rare version of this coin has sold for millions. If you've got US coins lying around, don't spend them just yet. You might be sitting on unimaginable wealth. Let's unlock the secrets hiding in your spare change. This could be the moment that changes your life forever. Let's get started first up to the have you ever looked at an old coin and wondered if it could secretly be worth a fortune? That dream might be closer to reality than you think. One of the most surprising and sought-after coins in the numismatic world is the 1971 Kennedy half dollar. At first glance, it may seem like just another coin lost in pocket change, but certain rare variations of this coin have sold for hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions, at auctions. The jaw-dropping value of this seemingly ordinary piece of metal lies in a few extraordinary details that make it a collector's holy grail. If you have one sitting unnoticed in a drawer, your life could change overnight. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar was the first to be struck without any silver content after the US Mint moved to a copper-nickel composition. But here's the twist. There are a few incredibly rare errors where the coin was mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver planchets from previous years. These wrong planchet errors are worth a fortune. One such silver-struck 1971 Kennedy half dollar was auctioned for nearly $13,000. But that's just the beginning. Unique errors like double dies, proof strikes, or coins with minting anomalies have reached astronomical prices, some even breaking the $1 million mark. But what makes these coins explode in value isn't just their metal content. It's rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. The Kennedy half dollar isn't just a coin. It's a tribute to a fallen president, a symbol of a nation's grief, and a piece of American legacy frozen in time. That emotional connection adds a priceless aura, especially for collectors who are willing to bid outrageous amounts to secure one in pristine condition. It's not just money, it's history in your hands. Now let's talk about the rumors swirling around the so-called bicentennial Kennedy half dollar from the 1970s. While technically the bicentennial design was released in 1975-76, many people confuse it with the rare 1971 versions. Why? Because some unique 1971 coins, especially high-grade proofs or misstruck versions, have fetched eye-watering sums at private sales. When paired with myths, legends, and viral stories online, these coins have become mythical treasures for collectors and everyday folks alike. Here's the wild part. Some of these coins may be sitting quietly in your own home. You might have inherited them, tossed them into an old jar, or received them in change years ago. What if that random half dollar in your coin box is one of these hidden gems? That's not just pocket change, it's generational wealth waiting to be discovered. This isn't just hype. It's backed by real sales, real auction houses, and real people who became rich overnight from what they thought was spare change. So how can you tell if your Kennedy half dollar is worth a fortune? It's all in the details. Look for mint marks, unusual weights, off-center strikes, or silver tones. If you're unsure, have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. A simple $20 appraisal could uncover a coin worth millions. There are stories of coins found in piggy banks, garage sales, and estate boxes that turned out to be life-changing discoveries. Don't let ignorance cost you a fortune. Examine every coin you come across. What if I told you that one small coin could completely change your life? The 1971 Kennedy half dollar might look like any other coin, but rare versions of it are selling for staggering amounts, some even reaching into the millions. It's not just metal. It's a hidden treasure disguised as spare change. And the best part? You might already own place for imagine holding a simple coin that looks like spare change, but it's actually worth millions. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar is no ordinary piece of metal. Some rare versions have shocked collectors and auction houses with their jaw-dropping value. These coins are turning everyday people into overnight millionaires. And the most unbelievable part, one of them could be sitting unnoticed in your home right now. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the coins in your pocket, this video could be your golden ticket. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and the Kennedy half dollar from 1971 is one of the most thrilling stories of all. Don't miss your chance. Check your coins, spread the word, and who knows, you might be holding the key to unimaginable wealth. Stick around because we're about to explore even more US coins that can turn your spare change into millions. Next up to if you've ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it could change your life, you're not alone. Among the countless coins minted in the United States, a few rare gems have skyrocketed in value, turning everyday collectors into millionaires overnight. One of the most fascinating of these is the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Though millions were struck, only a handful possess the ultra-rare traits that make them worth millions of dollars today. It's not just currency, it's history, mystery, and fortune all forged into one piece of metal. Some collectors describe the thrill of discovering one as pure magic, and for good reason. This coin could literally flip your destiny. What makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar so jaw-droppingly valuable is its unique blend of minting errors, historical context, and collector demand. While the standard 1972 half-dollar isn't rare, specific versions, such as those with no mint mark, high-relief details, or proof errors, are nearly impossible to find in circulation. And then, there are the bicentennial editions, released in celebration of America's 200th birthday, that carry even more intrigue when struck on silver planchets instead of clad. If your coin happens to have these extremely rare traits, its value can soar into 6 or even 7 figures at auction. That's not a typo. Some have sold for over $1 million. It's this extraordinary potential that drives collectors, hobbyists, and even everyday people to go digging through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten piggy banks. The idea that a small metallic disc, tossed aside decades ago, could now be your golden ticket is beyond captivating. It's the stuff of dreams. And yet, these dreams are becoming reality for more people every year. Auction houses report skyrocketing interest in vintage US coins, especially rare Kennedy half-dollars, with bidding wars pushing prices into unimaginable territories. To understand the craze, you have to look at the legacy of the Kennedy half-dollar. First issued in 1964 following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the coin became an instant collector's item. But it's the scarcity combined with historic weight that fuels its modern mystique. The 1972 version is infamous for several minting anomalies, including double dies, off-center strikes, and even rare silver planchets that were never meant for that year's issue. When a coin slips past the mint's rigorous quality control with these errors, its value skyrockets, becoming an object of obsession for collectors. Imagine holding what looks like an ordinary coin, only to discover it's actually a national treasure in disguise. Stories have surfaced of people unknowingly spending these valuable coins at face value, only for sharp-eyed collectors or dealers to scoop them up and cash in later for hundreds of thousands. It's a reminder to always look twice, because that change in your pocket could be your breakthrough moment. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, especially those with unusual features, are being dubbed as the millionaire's coin in collector circles for good reason. But what's truly stunning is how many of these coins are still out there, quietly resting in drawers, boxes, and dusty coin albums across America. They could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. That's why now is the time to check your collection. If you find a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, especially one with silver luster or unusual detailing, you could be staring at a life-changing fortune. The biggest mistake you can make is thinking it's just another coin, when in reality, it might just be your billionaire moment. Hidden among ordinary pocket change lies a coin so rare and valuable, it could make you a millionaire overnight. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. While most appear ordinary, a select few with rare minting errors or struck on silver planchets are worth hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars. These aren't just coins, they're historical artifacts with the power to change your life. If you've got old coin jars, inherited collections, or even loose change sitting around, now is the time to check. That unassuming Kennedy half-dollar could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. Don't spend it. Inspect it, research it, and you might discover your very own hidden treasure. In a world where most wealth is digital, one rare coin could be your real-life golden ticket to unimaginable riches. So before you spend another coin without a second thought, take a closer look. This isn't just about numismatics. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the allure of hidden riches, and the undeniable truth that legends still exist in our pockets. If you're curious about how a simple piece of metal became one of the most valuable objects in modern collecting, stay tuned. Because this story isn't just about coins, it's about transforming fate and how one tiny disc could open the door to unimaginable wealth. Next up to the imagine holding a simple coin in your hand, something that once bought a soda or rode the bus, and realizing it could now be worth millions. That's the shocking reality behind certain rare Kennedy half-dollar coins, especially those from the early 1970s. Among them, the 1973 Liberty Kennedy half-dollar stands out, not just as a relic of American history, but potentially as a life-changing treasure. While many people overlook these coins as mere pocket change, collectors and numismatists know that under the right conditions, mint errors, low mintage, perfect condition, some of these coins are worth a fortune. The mystique of these rare half-dollars lies not just in their silver content or historical value, but in the rarity and condition that can skyrocket their worth. Let's take a closer look at why the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is drawing so much attention. First of all, despite the common misconception, there were no half-dollars released for circulation in 1975, because the U.S. Mint jumped directly to the 1976 bicentennial edition, making the 1973 version especially desirable. Now, factor in rare variants, like those minted in San Francisco, proof versions, Denver, or Philadelphia, and you've got a landscape filled with potential gold mines. What sends collectors into a frenzy are error coins, off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planche. Some of these flawed yet fascinating pieces have been auctioned off for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, picture this. A nearly flawless 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, graded as MS-67 or higher by top certification, agencies like PCGS or NGC. These pristine specimens are extremely rare, and when they appear, they ignite bidding wars at prestigious auction houses. Just recently, collectors witnessed a staggering sale where a single coin fetched a six-figure sum, turning the lucky owner into an overnight sensation. Why? Because the coin's near-perfect condition, combined with its low population, made it a numismatic jackpot. This isn't just collecting. It's treasure hunting on a whole new level. But the fascination doesn't end with just the 1973 version. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar, minted in 1976, also holds its share of awe. Coins from this historic year feature the dual date, 1776-1976, and a striking image of Independence Hall on the reverse, making them a patriotic symbol and a collector's dream. While most were minted in large quantities, silver-clad versions, especially in proof or uncirculated sets, are highly sought after. If you find a bicentennial half-dollar struck in 40% silver with a cameo finish, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands, especially if it's in top condition or part of a rare set. It's mind-blowing to think that something sitting quietly in your old coin jar could unlock such unimaginable wealth. That's why experts and enthusiasts alike are encouraging everyday people to revisit their collections. Whether it's a family heirloom, an old roll of coins, or change you've stashed away in a drawer, check every coin carefully. Pay attention to the mint mark, the year, the condition, and whether there are any unusual features. You never know which coin might be your ticket to financial freedom. Some stories have surfaced of people discovering rare half-dollars at garage sales, flea markets, or even in loose change from a vending machine. The incredible part about rare coin collecting is how accessible it can be. You don't need to be an expert to start. All it takes is a bit of curiosity, a sharp eye, and the willingness to look. The value of these coins is not just in the metal they're made of, but in the history, rarity, and demand that drive collectors wild. It's this perfect storm of factors that can transform a humble coin into a million-dollar masterpiece. The Kennedy half-dollar, particularly those from the 1970s and bicentennial years, has become one of the most captivating chapters in American coin history. That old Kennedy half-dollar sitting in your drawer could be worth a fortune, especially if it's a rare 1973 Liberty or bicentennial edition. These coins, often overlooked as pocket change, have sold for thousands, even millions of dollars due to mint errors, limited releases, and pristine condition. Don't underestimate what might be hiding in your piggy bank. Your next coin could be a life-changing jackpot waiting to be discovered. Some Kennedy half-dollars, especially from 1973, so before you toss those coins in the tip jar, or hand them over for lunch money. Take a closer look. That ordinary-looking Kennedy half-dollar could be your billionaire moment in disguise. It's not just a piece of metal, it's a tangible connection to American history and a potential treasure chest waiting to be discovered. Stay tuned as we explore even more fascinating coins that might be hiding in your very own home. Because sometimes, the path to unthinkable riches starts with a single shining coin. Next up to the one such coin, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, is turning heads in the collector's world. While millions were minted, a rare few have unique errors or variations that make them worth millions. This isn't just spare change. This is a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. Found in everyday places like old piggy banks or inherited collections, these elusive coins are now among the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history. What makes the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar so incredibly valuable? It's not just age. It's the mystery behind a few experimental coins that never officially entered circulation. Some rare versions were struck in 90% silver, even though by 1971 the U.S. Mint had shifted away from silver content. One such specimen, struck on a 90% silver planchet with mirror-like proof quality, has fetched jaw-dropping prices at auctions. If you happen to have one of these error coins, you're not just holding a piece of history, you're holding a potential fortune. Let's talk about the bicentennial buzz, a time in the 1970s when the U.S. celebrated 200 years of independence. Coin collectors went wild, and the U.S. Mint released special commemorative designs. While the Kennedy half-dollar didn't change its design like the quarter or dollar, the demand surged. Special collector's editions were minted, and some extremely rare errors from this era, particularly 1974 D coins struck with proof dies or off-metal errors, have surfaced over time. These are the types of coins that have been auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars, or more. One story that captures the imagination is of a 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar that was mistakenly struck on a silver planchet instead of the usual copper nickel-clad. This single coin sold for over $10,000 at auction, because it was one of only a few known to exist. Imagine the thrill of discovering something so rare in your very own pocket change. That's not just a coin. That's a jackpot. And it's not just one type of error that makes these coins valuable. Double dies, wrong planchets, and other striking anomalies can all multiply the value exponentially. Why do collectors and investors go wild for these rare coins? It's all about rarity and condition. Coins graded MS65 or higher, especially with confirmed errors, can skyrocket in value. The difference between a coin worth 50 cents and one worth $50,000 might come down to a tiny minting error or a pristine surface. That's why numismatists scrutinize every detail, from the shine of the metal to the crispness of Kennedy's profile. And in this world, even the tiniest detail can mean a difference of thousands of dollars. Now imagine this. While most people walk past coins on the sidewalk or toss them into a tip jar, you could be holding the one piece everyone is searching for. The rush of adrenaline when a coin dealer tells you your Kennedy half-dollar is a rare error worth thousands is indescribable. This isn't fantasy. It's happening to everyday people who took just a few minutes to inspect their change. There are a world where fortunes are often locked behind investments and stocks. This is tangible, real, and possibly sitting in your own home right now. The Kennedy half-dollar is more than a tribute to a president. It's become a legendary icon in the world of rare coins. The secret lies in the details: mint marks, errors, silver content, and condition. And if your lucky collectors across the globe are in fierce competition to acquire these rare coins, driving prices through the roof. As demand skyrockets and supplies dwindle, the value of unique Kennedy half-dollars only increases. The coin market is booming, and experts believe we're only scratching the surface of what these coins could be worth in the coming years. If you've ever dreamed of striking it rich, this is your moment. So grab that old coin box, check every detail, and remember, your path to fortune might just begin with a single coin hiding in plain sight. Before you rush to spend that old jar of coins sitting on the shelf, take a closer look. That dusty Kennedy half-dollar might not just be currency, it could be treasure. People all over the country are discovering small fortunes in the most unexpected places. Inherited coin collections, flea markets, garage sales, or old change jars. And every so often, a new story emerges of someone who cashed in on a rare coin that changed their life. Yours could be next. All it takes is one special coin to turn an ordinary day into the start of an extraordinary journey. So, if you're wondering whether your coin collection is just spare change or a hidden gold mine, this is your wake-up call. Don't underestimate the power of a single Kennedy half-dollar. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of wealth, and possibly your ticket to life-changing riches. Check those coins, flip them over, look for the signs, and who knows, you might be sitting on a piece of metal that's worth $1 million.